happening? It's your boy Skrilla, man. Shout out to I Said It, the celebrity interview. You did what I'm talking about, man. Sponsored by
music exec, music manager, entrepreneur. Yo, shout out to the celebrity interviewer. I Said It, the show.
Hey, what's good, everybody? I am Chicago's own national award-winning spoken word artist, Just Mike the Poet. I'm here to give a shout out to celebrity interviewer I Said It, the Poet.
What's happening? It's your boy Cam Jones, man. Shout out to the celebrity interviewer I Said It show.
Yo, it's the originator Jazzo, y'all. Make this real quick, man. Shout out to I Said It Management. Doing it big.
I thought to you, man, like over the years, I see you everywhere at every major event, covering every major thing, always supporting every artist that you encounter. So, definitely don't want this time to pass without saying thank you for always being a support to any and everybody that's coming in and out of Chicago. We definitely appreciate you.
Tune in. I'll be with the celebrity interviewer I Said It, the Poet, for the I Said It show.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? This is Dean Most Photography giving a big shout out to my main man, celebrity interviewer I Said It, the Poet.
What up, it's your boy Dave Tolliver from the legendary Minute Large, and right now you're checking out the celebrity interviewer I Said It, the show, baby. Yeah, it's all being brought to you by
Hey, peace and blessings. I definitely want to welcome you all back for another great episode. And this is actually episode 2 of the Square Table. And this is actually where we feature, some of my celebrity friends. And, we're going to have a great discussion, both Mimie and I. She's actually been blocked by my logo. So let me fix that real quick so you can see how beautiful Mimie looks.
Yeah, please.
There she goes. There she goes. So you already know, me. Welcome back to another great episode of the Square Table, where it's going to be both myself and Mimie Acosta, CEO of M.I.A. Entertainment Group, the legendary Mimie Acosta. Let it be known. We're the host of this show. It's called the Square Table, and that's where you come to get back on your square at the Square Table anytime. You know what I mean? And Mimie, please, can you tell them what the topic is today?
The topic is child abuse and stalkers. And you guys already know this is going to be a very interesting show because we've all had stalkers, I'm pretty sure, and child abuse goes way back, even in my background. So yeah, please stay tuned. We got a great show for you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Do you have a little bit of anything that you would like to say as an intro to when it comes to child abuse after we introduce our great guest today?
Oh, definitely. Let's do it.
Definitely. So first, I like to bring in my first celebrity guest and friend of mine, Miss Renatta Nikole. If you can please introduce yourself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. My name is Renatta Nikole. I am an actress, writer, painter, fashion designer. I have my own clothing line called No Competitors Apparel. And you can find me on IG at No Competitors Apparel and on TikTok at No Competitors. And that's me.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that information and welcome to the show. And make sure you all support my friend Renatta.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to bring up my great friend, award-winning film director, Andrea Ward. Could you please just tell them a little bit about yourself, how they can support you?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea Ward. I'm award-winning writer, creator, producer, actress, and film director, known for many different film projects, also seen on the Steve Harvey Show. You could support me and find my work at www.redemptionimages.com.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Make sure you all support Andrea Ward, please. You know what I'm saying? She's doing some great things out here as well. And last but not least, Mimie, I think you'd be better with this introduction of this last gentleman.
Actually, I think you are. I think he is awesome. And what I
Hey,
do know is that he's over there taking over Santo Domingo with all that TV, film, music, everything that he does in the industry. So I'm gonna just welcome Skrilla to the show, and I'm gonna say Skrilla because that's what I do know. Join me
all
in
right.
on.
Well, with that being said, please, International Skrilla, can you please, introduce yourself, brother?
Well, I'm Skrilla. I am originally from Chicago, living in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. I am a rapper. I am a singer. I'm a songwriter, producer, engineer, overall businessman, holding down 5 different businesses. So, full plate, but I always got time for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother, all the time. And then make sure y'all support my brother, International Skrilla, man. You know what I mean? Blue Smoke Empire. So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
And first, I'll go ahead and hand the mic, back to Mimie, and if you could just please, speak a little bit about child abuse and, kind of like what that is for those that's, not familiar. And then I'm going to speak a little bit about what in my opinion, of what stalkers are. And then, we're going to hand the mic first to Miss Andrea Ward after that.
Yes, let's go. So the topic of tonight, of course, is child abuse and stalkers. And as the dictionary would say, child abuse is a physical maltreatment or sexual molestation of a child. Now, the CDC defines child abuse as neglect, any act or a series of acts of commission or omission by a parent or other caregiver. Talking about clergies, coaches, teachers, etc. It could even be family members that result in harm, potential for harm, or threat of a child. So that's where we are with child abuse. Of course, there's just a whole lot more to it, but this is what the CDC calls it. It's what it's defined as. And the list goes on when it comes to child abuse.
Okay, I appreciate that information. Thank you, Miss Mimie.
Welcome.
And then when it comes to stalkers, the actual definition as of Google says a stalker is a person who harass or persecutes someone with unwanted or obsession attention, a person who hurts game seductively. So, with that being said, my opinion of a stalker is anybody that kind of like violating your space or making you feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Putting you in any type of potential danger or anything like that. And a man can be stalked just as well as a woman can be stalked. And we're gonna talk about that. And maybe anyone on this show today on this panel may even have some experiences, unfortunately, of being stalked because being a celebrity, just being in the spotlight. You know what I mean? We get a little bit more extra attention than the average person. So, and then people sometimes, like it says, the definition, become obsessed with you or who you are. And, they don't even know you like that. So, with that being said, please, Miss Ward, if you could just speak a little bit about, whatever topic you would like to, whether it's a child abuse, stalkers, both, whichever, it's your floor. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have experience with stalkers. Before I even entered the entertainment industry, and I was just a college student studying in school at Maryland. That's my daughter in the background.
Hey,
So I
daughter.
definitely had stalkers. I definitely had stalkers when I was younger, especially as a model. I used to be a really popular model in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. And then I really discovered what a stalker was when I got into the entertainment industry, especially during Fashion Week, because sometimes you have crazy, I'm not gonna say fans, but like the super, I wouldn't even call them supporters, but just admirers. And sometimes when they reach out to you and you simply decline their request, they simply don't know how to take no for an answer. I've had one person stalk me for 2 weeks just because I told him no to modeling in one of my shows. And this is when I was a designer back in 2016. He
Wow.
stalked me 2 weeks, called me every name in the book,
Mm.
stalked me cyber bullied me for a while until I said yes, but I never said yes. So it didn't work out in his favor. Or sometimes I would get people, let's just say, want to do what I am doing currently, and they didn't know how to do it. And I don't know if things didn't work out or some shape or form on their end, but I would usually get cyber stalked a lot, to a point where I wouldn't post my current locations. If I do, it's not until 2 weeks later. That's one thing you want to definitely avoid, posting your current location, because that is a setup. The internet is a
Mm.
dangerous place, especially sharing your location on any social media platform, because you don't know who's watching you and who's paying attention to you, especially if you're a public figure and on the media's attention as well. So that's a little bit of my experience. Sometimes this went on for weeks, and that's about it.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. And again, I apologize and on behalf of, just all the creeps that's out there, you know what I'm saying? The cyber creeps, like, that is just terrible. You know what I mean? And I can't imagine what that's like, you know what I mean, when it comes from a perspective of a woman. With that being said, if I could, pass the mic to Renata, because it's ladies first all the time. So I'm gonna pass the mic to Renata, and you can speak a little bit about, any type of experience you have.
I have experienced not physical stalking, but I've had cyber stalking. This was before I even got into the entertainment business. They would make a lot of pages about me or try to recreate my character or personality or whatever or what have you, and they would harass the people that are friends on my friends list. So only people who really knew me knew that that wasn't me, because they know my personality and they know my character. I'm very silly, I'm business oriented, and I'm spiritual. So the page that they made was very angry, very sensual, and very vulgar. Far from who I am. And it's so frustrating because you can't like call Facebook or TikTok or somebody and say, "Hey, can you stop this from happening to me?" It's nobody you can contact. You really just have to pray it away and hope that your character and your who you really are stands up against what other people are trying to portray you as. I think it's very unfortunate because they could do it from their home in their bed with their pajamas on. They don't have to get in a car. They don't have to map quest you or anything to harass you and troll you. I definitely don't like sharing my locations, but it's kind of hard because when you have like events or performances, you got to kind of give out where you're going to be located at. So that's frightening because sometimes those people will show up at your events or your projects or whatever. So that's my experience with stalking. Child abuse, I used to work with a lot of children in different companies, and I helped high risk children in Chicago. And you'll find out a lot of kids will act out at school or they have hard times being a functioning adult because of the abuse that they had dealt with as a child. They take it out on their uh, peers, or they take it out on people that are actually really trying to help them. So that's a very unfortunate matter as well. I haven't had to deal with that myself, thank God. And I'm sorry for those who had to deal with it, but it's very important to try to address that and to be a mentor and help to those kids because they're crying out in different ways. And it's really hard to get these children at this generation to be opened up about a lot of things. They're very numb. So it's hard to kind of guide them in the right direction unless they feel comfortable with you, and it's hard for them to gain your trust. So that's my take on child abuse and stalking.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Renatta. That sounds pretty interesting. I mean, especially when it comes to being stalked, and I too have firsthand that type of experience when it comes to events, and our locations. Because the thing about it is that in order for us to even get on some of our apps, we have to turn our locations on, and that's sometimes the problem too, that we forget that we turn on the locations. We end up at these spots, and next thing you know, you got somebody over your shoulder talking about, "You're my Facebook friend."
Right.
So it does get a little bit crazy, but yes, thank you so much for your input. And we're going to talk more about that.
Right. So
Skrilla.
then, that's right. That's right. Thank you, Renatta.
Thank you.
Oh man. Let's see. Cyber
I know you've been stalked, so let's go.
Cyber stalking is crazy. I've had people make multiple pages, make multiple phone numbers, go after people that I know, and just really attack them for no reason, just because they can't be close to me. Even here in the Dominican Republic, I rarely go outside, or if I do, I have either my manager or security with me, because I can go to the grocery store and there's so many Dominicans that know me and they just roll up on you. They don't have no chill. They don't approach you how they're supposed to. They just walk up on you. So you never know what to expect. So, the women, they do the most, but it's some men out here as well that feel if you don't give them an opportunity that they feel they deserve, then they act out of character as well. So you really got to watch more men than you do women these days. And as far as the child abuse stuff, I know a lot of children that's been abused, and it affects them as adults. I haven't really seen any children acting out too bad. As they get older, though, some of the things that trigger them from their traumatic events, they start acting out as adults. And not everybody is going to go to counseling. Everybody copes in different ways. So if you know the signs to look for, then that's the best way you got to go about handling the situation, as far as talking to a person and trying to get them to open up to see if they're open to being helped. And with the TikTok and the Instagram, and all of these kids nowadays are subject to abuse because of the things that they post, the things that they wear. And you can be 15, 16 years old looking like you're 21, and now you have to worry about being snatched up. And it's just a lot of different things that can happen to you as a child with the child abuse going on now. And people are crazy. And the internet, man, it'll get you in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
They're absolutely clueless. See, and that's the thing, especially these young girls. And I tell them all the time. Sometimes I see them on Instagram doing the most, and if it's anybody that I know or kids of somebody that I know, I snatch them up my damn self.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm like, look, mama, do me a favor and check baby girl's, Instagram, because she's over there doing the most. And at the end of the day, it's all about, the village, because, I'm from the Caribbean. You know how that is.
Definitely.
Being in the Caribbean, it's like everybody gets involved. Your mom tells you not to do something, and before you know it, the neighbor is snatching you up because you're not supposed to be doing it. And if your mom finds out, you already know what that is.
Already.
Look, back then it was more than child abuse.
I mean, but I believe that's what some of these kids need nowadays. They need that tough love so they can straighten up, as they come into young adults and adults, because some people, they just don't have a clue of what life is for real. And if you spoil, if you shelter, and you get out here in the real world, you're in for a rude awakening.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, thanks so much for that, Skrilla. We really appreciate, your you telling your experience, and I can agree. These guys, you would never think, what I'm saying, what some of these guys be doing, what I'm saying, just to get to network with you, what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You would expect that more from a woman, so it'd be crazy though. But thank you for your
no problem.
Your opinion, brother.
No problem.
Yeah, Mimie, again, based on what everyone had to say, what type of more feedback would you like to just share?
Well, in talking, I know that I joked about it talking to Renata a little bit when I was, talking about, just whether it's like being snatched up, whether it's being followed, whether it's someone following us to events and what have you. I was actually followed to an event one time, and it's crazy because it was a movie premiere, and it was this guy on Facebook that just, he always commented on my stuff, and you thank everybody, the hearts and the thumbs up, and you're not thinking that you're doing anything for somebody's confidence, but then all of a sudden they think that they're confident enough to now come somewhere and approach you. And I was approached at an event, and it was really, really scary because he actually stood next to me, and he was like, hey, I know you don't recognize me, but my name is such and such. I'm your Facebook friend. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, how you doing? Thank you for coming out." 'Cause, when you invite people to events and you put stuff on your social media and say, hey, look, there's a premiere, come on out, you know, you're not thinking that something like this can happen to you because you don't think you're approachable. You're not that approachable. Well,
Right.
this guy was super bold. When he came and he stood next to me, everybody's taking pictures. And I guess he wound up being in one of the pictures, which I've always kept because I'm like, if anything happens, God forbid, this is the dude right here in this picture with the circle around him, you know. But that was pretty scary. And I had to share it with a couple of people, in the area when it happened. And then before you know it, he disappeared. And I never saw him again, and I never saw him on my social media again, but I do have a picture with him. And I think he felt out of place when I approached him like, okay, first of all, that guy over there, the tall one, the dark one up there in the corner, that's like 6 feet something, that's my dude. So let me introduce you to him.
That's right.
And he felt a little intimidated by the whole thing, and then before you know it, he was out. But I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Now we all need security.
Yeah.
But yes, we do need to be very careful, and the thing about it with us being in the industry is a very hard thing to do. When you have over 100,000 people on your social media, 200, 300, 500,000, it's only so much you can do as far as monitoring yourself. So even when I go places, I have to have 10 eyes around me. Like, I stop and I'm watching around to make sure that, my surrounding is okay, that I feel safe. I might call a couple of people, hey, look, I'm out here. Can you do me a favor and come get me and walk me in the building, et cetera, or just, go with groups, and it's really, really hard. So now I don't really go to many events because of that, because I have those special people on my social media that are like, hey, no, you're gonna see me on social media and some platforms. That's where you're gonna see me.
Okay.
But with as far as the location is concerned on my phone, that's the one thing that whenever I go to places, I just turn it off, and then I work with it as need be. But that has become like my little best friend because when you put your location out there, then people can easily find you. Or I don't know if any of you have ever experienced speaking to someone, like let's just say on the phone, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, I see that you're over here in downtown Atlanta next to this restaurant, and I'm going, how do you know that? That scared the crap out of me when it first happened, and I was like, okay, yeah, so this is where the location thing is I'm gonna have to be that best friend of that one little tool on my phone.
Wow, that is crazy, and that's amazing. You know what I mean? And thank you for sharing that because I know you reminded some people and probably woke up some people that's sleeping on just how to move. You helping them to move better. More safely. All brought up initially by Renata. When she was speaking about that
Yes,
earlier too. So
yes,
just thank you for all of that.
yes.
Actually, at the 30-minute mark, into this show, we're actually going to be doing an intermission for everybody that's out there. Thank you to everyone that's out there actually watching right now. I encourage you all to engage and, leave some questions if you like to have for any of our guests, you know what I mean? If you like, because we are live right now through my YouTube. So, you can just use the chat button and you know what I mean? It's real simple. With that being said, real quick, just let me shout out, Life Entertainment. You know what I mean? This is where you can find me when you go to the XOD network. I'm on her channel, Gina Hills, Life and Entertainment. You know what I mean? So make sure you all download the app, XOD app. You know what I mean? That's very important, because that's where this interview is going to be seen, you know what I mean, within 5 days, when I upload this show and this footage streaming to 2 billion people worldwide. So that's just awesome, you know what I mean? And it's very important for us to continue to just get this message out. Yep.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, I just want to move the mic over before the 30-minute mark and just speak a little bit with Miss Andrea Ward, and anything that you would like to speak about based on what other people have already said. If you have any type of rebuttals.
Can't hear you.
Sorry, can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Did you mute yourself?
Nah, she's unmuted. Can't hear you. All right, well, until she able to do that, I'm gonna move on to Renatta real quick.
Hmm?
And Renatta, if you have any if you have any rebuttals, to speak about.
Man, I don't know. I just say be careful, be mindful, don't be so accessible. Um, Leave some mysteriousness to it because you never know who's watching. You never know who's admiring. You never know who's disliking and hating on you. So just be very mindful. This industry is very different. I can't even imagine if I was rich for real or famous. Like if this happened on this little level, I mean, my goodness. So stay prayed up and like she said, just be mindful of your location and what you put out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And Skrilla, if you have any rebuttals to based on what was already has been said, anything like that, to just continue to just add to the subject.
Not really. It's already been said. You really have to be careful and mindful of where you at. If you do go out, if you don't have security, you need to hire professional security that's trained, that know what they're doing, that have all their paperwork in order just in case a situation arises where they have to take care of it. And me personally, I don't really go out too much for those reasons because I don't want to be approached all the time. But 9 times out of 10 for me, if I do post my location, then I know half the people can't get to where I'm at. So as far as that goes, I'm safe on that because I'm all around the globe everywhere. But
Right.
but I still try to be careful about that as well.
Right. Catch me if you can.
Hey, you better believe it.
Must be nice.
I see you, brother. You know, and yeah, just with that being said, we're gonna be bringing Andrea Ward back as well. She just fixing her just having some little technical issues on her end, but she'll be back soon to the panel. But with that being said, yeah, just I totally agree with what everybody's been said. Again, you all are very intelligent people. That's why you're here today. I mean, very opinionated, and you can never do too much when I feel like when it comes to your safety. What I mean? Even from my experience at jobs on the warehouse and things of that nature, is always safety first. And so we should always apply that in our everyday life. Sometimes we leave the job and we forget that it's always safety first. You know what I mean? We become a little bit too open and too loose, what I mean, with just, telling people a little bit too much information about ourselves, even when you get the comfortable having a phone conversation with someone that you don't really know like that. So we have to be careful. So that's my little advice, to when you speaking to people, just try not to tell them too much because people can really be taking notes and plotting on you, you know what I mean, and don't even give you any type of signs or indications what they true intentions are. A lot of people have ulterior motives out here, and when it comes to men or women. You know what I mean? So we just definitely have to be truly careful with that.
Oh
Yep.
yes, definitely. I'm gonna piggyback on that if I may, right quick.
Please, please.
Because the one thing that we didn't touch on a whole lot is child abuse, and we kind of like need to do that because there's a lot of this sickness with people that stems from situations like that, especially when it comes to kids being abused and not being helped, and then they become something else because then what happened is they start seeking attention, and they could become those that start seeking attention in people that they want to emulate. Oh, I want to be like Mimie Acosta when I grow up. Before you know it, I got this little stalker that's growing up watching me. 5 years later, they show up at an event talking about, hey, you've been my social media mama.
Right.
So,
Social media mama.
so look, I like to shed light and smile and laugh about different things because at the end of the day we have to laugh it because it is funny sometimes, but this is a very very serious matter. Like parents really need to get a hold of your kids, and if you have situations that are happening in your household, man, look, just get some help, because you do not know how this is affecting these kids and what these kids are out here doing. And what's happening is that they're seeking attention online. So they're going to these online websites and these little, teenage chat sites. And before you know it, they're running around with adults. And before you know it, they come up missing, God forbid. And then it's really crazy, because it's those of us who are busy thinking that, we're protecting the kids, when really and truly the kids are just doing the kids and other adults, or it's okay for us to have these sleepovers, and then the sleepovers turn into something else. So we have to kind of like really monitor everything when we have kids at home, and it stems from there. So if they have something going on, my thing is stalk your kids. Okay, I think that is the only time that it's really good to stalk somebody, is when you're stalking those that are living under your house that are not paying the bills. As long as they're not out there and doing their own thing, and they're still, and you're responsible for them little ones, you need to stalk them. Stalk their book bags, stalk their bedrooms, see what they're into, who their friends are, where they're going, pop up wherever they at, stalk them, because that is really our future. And it only takes one mistake for something to happen and then come up missing, and then you're on the news talking about, I thought I was doing everything. So that's kind of like my take, and I have so many takes on it. We could talk about this forever, for real, because there's just so much that has happened, not just like to people that I know, but just in general, a lot happening out here. And we see it on the news every day, with something happening to a girl that decided that she just wants to catch a train and go see a friend of hers. Next thing you know, she's missing. These things are happening. They're happening all the time. I mean, come on, we're in Atlanta. This is the hub for sex trafficking and human trafficking, and it's really, really scary.
That's terrible.
That's why I minimize my outings, because of stuff like that. Because when you think it can happen to you, that's just when it happens.
Yeah. And just to add to that as well, what I believe it is children are having children. So the neglect from the lack of parenting is what's bringing a lot of this stuff on too. And that's why they're turning to the internet, because they don't know better. If you're a young adult and you have a child, you don't know what to do. So now either you're going to physically abuse that baby because you just don't know what to do and nobody's helping you, and now you're ready to give that baby up, or you just neglect the baby altogether. And once the baby grows up, they get on this internet, and then they're meeting older people, they're hanging out with older people, and as a young parent, you're not really watching and keeping tabs on your baby. So the baby can do anything, can go anywhere, and all you worried about, well, I know a lot of parents that's young these days, they just worrying about having fun. They worrying about smoking, being all on the internet and looking good for the world to see. But they're not really in tune with what their children are doing, or if they are, it's for special occasions, it's for Easter, it's for Christmas, just for the internet. And that's one of the major problems, is everybody trying to look good for the internet, but they're not really living and being a parent like they're supposed to, and taking care of their responsibilities.
Well said, brother. Yeah, and actually we're going to be having an open discussion, after this intermission break we about to take, and hopefully we can be able to bring back Miss Andrea Ward, award-winning film director and model. But with that being said, first I'd like to just share some comments, because we do have some comments from the chat. I really appreciate everyone that's engaging right now. So let me just share some comments. First comment of the day was from Taylor Made Dreams Out of the Matrix, saying, "What up, nephew? Great topic, everyone. Appreciate it. Salute to them."
Yeah, that's my Uncle Russell. He's a really big YouTuber here in the Dominican Republic, touches on a lot of different subjects. He goes live pretty much every night, and he's a big influence on people in the Matrix, which is the United States as well as over here. So he's moved a lot of people here by his videos.
All right.
Okay, appreciate that, Unc. You know what I'm saying? Blue Smoke blowing it up in the Dominican Republic.
Hey.
Yeah, I already know. Definitely. Then Blue Smoke Empire. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We got some prayer hands, you know what I mean? We can never have enough prayer, you know what I'm saying? This is a crazy world we live in.
That's right.
Your uncle says fame comes with a cost. Everyone want it, but everyone ain't ready for the negative.
That's right.
I heard that. That's a true story.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? I just sent my blessings back to everyone.
Right.
Negative aspects that it brings, for real,
Mhm.
to finish this comment.
That's right.
Then he also says, this is why I'm happy to be raising my daughter in the DR, Dominican Republic, and away from the toxic American atmosphere. Kids walk by themselves all the time here. No one is coming up missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yes.
Very
Yeah,
sad.
definitely.
But definitely, like I say, we're gonna just take a quick intermission. We're gonna hear a lot more from Miss Renatta Nikole, more from International Skrilla, and of course my co-host, the legendary Mimie Acosta. You know what I'm talking about?
Good.
So during this intermission, you know what I mean, we're gonna be able to get a little laugh in because also Renata, she does comedy. And
Ah,
so, let's so we're gonna
Oh no.
let's start with a
Uh,
little laugh real quick.
okay.
yeah, good
You do a little
gracious.
a little costume change.
I'm not wearing a costume. I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana. It's called an evening gown, darling. This is not, no one's paying me for this. I paid for it. It's custom. Thank you.
Time of death for me right now. You look
This
gorgeous.
is not an acting gig. This is my life. This what fame look like. This what success look like. This what money look like. This what it look like. It's what it look like.
When is your book coming out called This What It Looked Like? And I will just read the entire
That
book.
book's not coming no time soon, but I Curse You With Joy will be out in November.
Okay.
And Layla, the Last Black Unicorn, will be out next month.
You're doing so much right now. Okay.
I'm just, trying to accomplish a lot of things before 50. What are you doing?
Well, I'm wondering
You
something.
out here with no shoes on, I'm jealous.
No shoes on. Here's the thing.
From?
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I had to do it, yo. Tiffany Haddish did that interview, man. And I felt
Yes,
like
it did.
her. I need to get it together before 50. You know what I'm saying? This what money look like. This what it look like. This what it look like. So
She said, "You out here with no shoes on. Where you from?" Like that.
Right. That is crazy.
yes.
Okay, great job, Renata. Proud of you all the time.
No,
So
thank you. Proud of you too.
thank you, much love. Next, we're gonna move on to a short clip of International Skrilla's new clothing line. So we're gonna show that real
She
quick.
said she never been this high. She said she never been this high. She said she never been this high in her life. Bottomless mimosas at another suite. Spot they go get massages, let's kick up our feet. Seafood at our table, let's enjoy a feast. If looks could kill or die, so I pay the fee. For me to reach these heights, I had to be a beast. Could never take me, but you could be who I aim to please. Walk on the outside, hold the door for you. When you pass, grip your ass like a real soldier. Never mind who you heard from and what they told you.
Can you speak a little about that clip and the music behind it, please?
Okay, well, Bali Culture Clothing is my new clothing line, my clothing brand that I just opened up in Bali, Indonesia. I actually just came back from there. I was over there for 2 months, just finding vendors and networking with different people. The artist on the song that I produced, I did all the music. He's from California. We was in the Navy together, and he is one of my new artists. So we're working on getting him together and getting ready to push out a project pretty soon. So I've been doing a lot of production for him as well.
Okay, sounds good. And the clothing line, I love it. You know what I mean? Congratulations on that new line. You know what I mean? That's big.
Thank
And
you. I
very
appreciate
creative
it.
too.
Thank you.
The fact that you're over there in the Dominican Republic, I see some Bali culture bathing suits. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll just leave it right there because I just the idea,
Well, I have the scarves coming. I have actually searching for somebody to print on silk, but everybody's kind of scared of that. So I have something similar to it, which is poly cotton, and I do have those pictures on my Instagram. But yeah, the Bali culture is, for right now, it's going to be strictly in Bali until I get everything together. But I do have orders here in the Dominican Republic, so
Oh yeah.
I have to go all the way over there, 2-day flights, and it was a long trip, but I made it there, came back, and by next year I will have an actual brick and mortar location in Indonesia.
Yes,
Very
sir.
nice.
Much respect. That's dope.
Love that.
Good.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So next, despite Andrea Ward's not present at the moment, this is a short clip from her new movie.
Don't know anything.
Project S is not ready.
Dr. Thomas, you're over there.
But I'm not leaving. Just go! Go! I'm not gonna let you do this.
You worthless, ungrateful.
Right, John.
That's the least of your worries.
What did you do to her?
Don't know anything.
Project S is not ready.
Dr. Thomas, you're over there.
But I'm not leaving. Just go! Go! I'm not gonna let you do this.
You worthless, ungrateful.
Right, John.
That's the least of your worries.
What did you do to her?
Right on time. I actually like to welcome back award-winning film director Andrea Ward. We just looked at a short clip of her new movie, Redemption. So if you could speak a little bit about Redemption and and how people can find that and support that movie.
Yes. Thank you. So sorry about that. Some technical. So I came up with the idea of Reborn Redemption. I actually wrote this in one day. And this was to the second project ever. And this project was made for $100. So I just wanted to test myself and to see what I was capable of doing. I knew I was very capable of getting it done, but I wanted to make sure I was able to, because somebody to believe in your vision and your dream. So I did that as part of my life.
I'm sorry, you breaking up a little bit, Andrea.
Oh, can you hear me now?
There's a lot of feedback. And I just want to make sure people are able to hear what you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're clear right now. Can everyone hear her?
Yeah, she's coming in and out.
Yeah, look like it's some internet connectivity issues.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in and out, and your picture is in and out a little bit. But we definitely get the gist of what you're saying. We appreciate it. And that is awesome that, for something that came out so well and looks so professional, you only spent a low budget on it. That's amazing. That's creativity right there. That's vision. So congratulations on that. Salute.
Yes.
Thank you. But yeah, as Andrea able to fix her sound and stuff, we have a couple of more comments that just came in. So first, someone says, the Queen, how can I purchase that shirt? Speaking to International Skrilla. And then says, movie looks like it's gonna be fire. It definitely do, don't it?
Yes.
Definitely.
Did she say $400? Audio's going in and out. $100. That is that's unheard of. $100. Like, stop playing. Stop playing, Andrea. You gonna stop pulling our chain. You do not do that for just $100. Sounds is not yeah, $100. Damn. Yeah, for real.
The thing about that is that when people believe in what you have going on and they see your vision and they believe in your vision, it's a very easy thing to say, hey, look, just send me a $25 gas card and I'll be wherever you need me to be.
Yeah.
So when people believe in you, that's how it works sometimes. So yeah. And Andrea, you can piggyback on that.
Man, for real. So just to complete the intermission, again, we're glad that Andrea was able to come back to the show. And real quick, I just have another short video to just play real quick, and then we're gonna actually come back and have an open discussion about both child abuse and stalkers. About welcoming anybody that like to comment in the chats or ask questions, along with just again just free for all. Whatever you want to speak about. Even if you want to share an experience or anything, or just maybe just continue to just give advice, because this whole platform is just to continue to just help people.
Okay.
So
Before you play the video, we
yes,
do
sir.
have to make sure that, because my uncle, he wants to know where he can see the movie and support her, and he's a real big supporter on everything Black. So we can definitely boost her viewing, her sales, or whatever it is needed, so she can make it to the next level that she's trying to make it to as well.
Absolutely. That's what's up. That's what it's all about. One hand helps another hand, you know what I'm saying? Reach out and help as we can, you know what I'm saying? We all have great platforms, and that's what this is all about, you know what I mean? So Andrea, if you can speak a little bit about how they can do that. Where can they find that movie?
I'm sorry, redemptionimages.com. Well, I haven't released full stuff in June. So right now we're still going through the film festival circuit. There will be a premiere in Atlanta, Georgia. So redemptionimages.com.
Okay, so that was redemptionimages.com. So make sure you all go to that website and check that out. Unfortunately, she's having some audio issues. We can't control technology all the time, unfortunately. What I mean? There's a lot of satellites up there in space. So with that being said, we're gonna just move on to this video, because it's necessary that y'all know to do this right here. And real quick, thank you. Make sure you all subscribe to Isaidit Management if you have not, because that's how you can continue to catch great segments of this show hosted by myself and Mimie, of the Square Table. That's where you get back in your square here at the Square Table. But let me shout out real quick my official radio media sponsors, and that would be Radio Impact. That would be 98.2 The Beat. That would be CB and the Boys radio show. That would also be She Bananas on the afternoon kickback. And then last but not least, when it comes to radio, BPE music, and that is Soul of the Streets Radio out of New York. Then when it comes to my TV partners, I like to just give a big shout out always to Life and Entertainment. That's by Gina Hills, CEO. Then the boss, Real Life Matters, and she's out there in the Caribbeans and Jamaica and holding it down in Canada. Then when it comes to XOD Network, that's XOD.com, XODnetwork.com. Y'all definitely want to download that app. Very necessary. And then shout out to Top12.tv. And make sure you all check out my website, iSaidItTV.com, to keep up with the latest information, that we're doing over here. Again, thank you for everyone that's here today. This is the flyer that represents this particular episode. Today is March 31st, last day of the month, before tomorrow being April Fool's Day. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and kick it off and start this open discussion real quick. Let me share some pictures real quick, because I did download some pictures. So this is actually the cover of Andrea Ward's movie.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that is nice.
Make sure you all look for that. This is a beautiful picture of Andrea.
Hey.
There she goes. There she goes. This is a up close picture of Skrilla's clothing.
That's nice.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that's hidden right there.
Yeah, definitely.
That's actually his logo, Blue Smoke Empire.
I
So
love
make
that
sure
logo.
Thank you, thank you.
That aqua honey, that color gotta be in there. I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
then when it comes to Renata, this is an up close look at one of her jackets, custom made.
Nice.
Real nice.
Dope.
Nice,
Super
Renata.
dope.
I like that.
Thank you. That's actually a painting I made.
Okay.
I like that.
Nice. And that's her wearing her gear. She got the hat, the jacket, the dress, everything. And she got the baby clothes too. I see you.
Gotta get the kids
I
some
like that
too.
one. That's nice.
Right, different colors. I love it. I love it. Really proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. So make sure you all support everyone again on this platform. And of course, make sure y'all support my friend Mimie Acosta. And this is actually her official logo right here. M.I.A. Entertainment Group. We bring it up in 2 seconds. Here we go.
Okay.
M.I.A. Entertainment Group. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So that's how you can you see that logo is official. That's Mimie Acosta right there.
If you see that logo on anybody's flyer, it's because I'm gonna be there, except in Chicago, and that's just for now. Because at some point I'm gonna show up over there.
That's right. I can't wait to welcome you in. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Straight
And
up.
I'm still working on the DR. I'm still working on the DR. I feel like if I come to DR, I might end up staying out there.
Hey, the doors are open. Don't worry about it.
I love it. I love the thought of it. See, I'm a water girl. I'm an island girl, so you already know that's
Yeah.
that's my spot right there by the water.
Yeah, beautiful beaches.
Yes, yes.
I heard that. So please be my guest and just, go ahead and, let's kick off this open discussion, Miss Mimie. And what I mean, again, just a reminder to everyone, this is just where everyone can just chime in. Just, if you want to cut somebody off, of course, you know how we do it, just let somebody know that, like, excuse me, you know what I mean? And just, continue to just make a comment. If it's something that, piques your interest, something that they say. But yeah, please, Mimi, go ahead and just kick it off, and we all just gonna talk about it.
Okay, well, first off, I'm going to say, because we did not put this up there and we need to because we are talking about child abuse and stalking. I don't know if there's a stalking website, but or a stalking, national database, but there is 911. So that's one.
Right.
And for child abuse, we've got the National Domestic, Violence and Child Abuse Hotline, which is 855-422-4453. Okay, my beautiful people. So if you guys know of, kids that are being abused, something that's happening, they need some help, do not hesitate to blow that whistle. 855-422-4453, because you never know who you are saving. And be careful while we are saving people out here, because while we are saving people, we can be putting our own selves in danger. That's like the one thing that's kind of like the no when people are like, oh, you need to mind your business. Yeah, well, when it comes to kids, they can't defend themselves. It's almost your business, but you just have to be very careful with how you make that your business. So,
Right.
Anybody wants to chime in? Let's go.
Definitely. Go for it. Be bold.
Yeah, well, that's very true. You do have to be careful because, let's say, a child is being abused and you call Child Protective Services and they come and take that child out the house. Now you have some angry parents, even though they might not be doing a good job at parenting, but just the simple fact that you took something from them, you can have a real big problem as well.
Yes. Yes, and then you have to be careful too how you report child support, because child support. Well, that's another subject for another day.
Don't get somebody in trouble.
Very careful how you report child abuse, because look, this is the thing. Back in the day, and I'm talking I am in the 50+ club. So back in the day when we used to get beat downs, our beat downs were literally child abuse. Just nobody was calling to report it, and we had better not pick up that phone and dial 911, or we would come up missing.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. But at the end of the day, we still have a mother that loved us, 4 kids that end up walking the walk and doing better as a result of anything that we may have had going on, in our immediate households or other families' houses or whatever the case it was. If you had a parent back then that was beating on you, they were beating on you for the betterment and not because they wanted to really damn near kill you. And back then, really and truly, the things that we see today as far as child abuse is not really what took place back then. It's like back then we got beat downs, but we were still loved.
Right.
Now you've got the malnutrition, the kids that are being starved and, in cages. And it's a crazy level of stuff that's happening today that I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom the thought of what people are really going through to put these kids through the things that they're putting them through. My thing is, if you don't want your child, drop them off at the hospital or at the police station and just let them know, hey, look, I don't want this child no more. Work something out, do some paperwork, do something, but don't abuse the kids, man, because then these kids are going to grow up with the problems in their heads, and then they're going to start dishing their problems to other people, and the cycle will never stop.
Yeah, excuse me. And just to piggyback on what you're saying too, despite you 50 plus club, I'm not there yet. Hope to be there when I get there, but with that being said, I'm an 80s baby and I'm from the, get the switch off the tree era, grab anything close enough to hit you with era. I'm still from that generation, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? But like you said, they tell you that after they beat you down, we love you. I love you. I only did it because I love you. They always say that, right? Give you a big hug and kiss, you know what I'm saying? Now go to your room and, attend to your wounds. Stop the bleeding. But real talk though, you know what I mean? All jokes aside, you right, kids and just not protected enough. And I just feel like, it's the responsibility of any adult in a family. If you see anything that just looks suspicious, or you already know the demeanor or the attitude or personality of your relative, you know that they're aggressive people, and if they're aggressive toward you, they might be aggressive toward their child too. Or just if the child is looking like sad all the time, inquire, like ask, like, is everything okay? You know what I mean? Ask the child what their opinion is, how they feeling. You know what I mean? Just, kind of just ask more questions within the family, because it's up to our families to be protective of the other family members, because it starts here in the home and within the community and the family. It starts in the home, then it goes to the family and then to the community, and which, transitions to goes around the world, so if we can stop it there at square one, at the square table, then you know what I'm saying, that we can maybe we can nip it in the butt and stop this from becoming so prevalent.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, when I was working with children, I learned that a lot of the child abuse came from parents neglecting them due to relationships they were having, due to wanting more attention with the spouse or the boyfriend or the girlfriend more than the child, and like the child was in the way. So they would take out issues on the children because they either didn't want them, or they felt like, I could be doing more if I didn't have to deal with you. Or if the kid reminded them of somebody who did them wrong, you look like your daddy or you look like your mother. And so I have a problem with you because you remind me of them. So that's what I learned when I was working with the youth.
Good point. Good point. You absolutely right. I've heard that before. We have 2 comments that just came in from Miss Lou Angels. Definitely got to be careful reporting abuse.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Then the Queen says that's true, because once DCFS take them, it's hard to get them back. It's extremely long process.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments and opinions.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Thriller?
No, I was saying it's nothing worse than a parent that feel like their freedom is taken away by having a child. And that happens so much these days. And that's where a lot of the abuse comes from too, because they can't get up and move how they want to move, or they may not have family close, that's going to be able to help them and babysit. Or if they do, then that child becomes the responsibility of either the parents or the grandparents. So I've been witnessing all of this stuff over a number of years, and I just watch a lot of things that's going on in society today. And like I said, children are having children, and they have no idea what it takes to raise a baby. They just do it because they think it looks good, it's cool. They want to buy baby clothes, and they just want to have something to dress up. But the baby is not a doll. That baby gonna cry. That baby gonna wake you up all through the night. That baby, you gonna have to change that baby pampers. You gotta be able to feed that baby and support that baby. And if you can't support yourself, how are you gonna take care of a baby?
Yep, absolutely. Good point. Good point. And we have the comments coming in quickly. Miss Blue Angel says, I reported a child that I used to raise, and I knew that she was being sexually abused by her grandfather, and DCFS never did an investigation. They just kept saying nothing was going on.
Oh, wow.
That's sad. I'm sorry to
That
hear
is
that.
sad.
To add to that, she says now the grandfather is on trial for molesting that little girl for over 6 years, and this happened about 9 years ago.
Oh,
Damn,
oh,
that is
extensive
terrible.
counseling.
Right.
That's really what that means. And it's really crazy because I come from that type of experience. I'm a victim myself. And it's really crazy because there is kind of like, there is no amount of counseling that can fix what happened. But when you come face to face with that place looking in the mirror that it wasn't your fault, you didn't do this as a child, with grown adults doing these things to you, then you come to a better place. You can more understand, you can more, because if it's happening to them and it's happened to you, then you know that there's a chain in the family. But the
Right.
chains, the shit stops here. If I may say that, we don't have to bleep this out, but the buck stops right here.
Yeah.
And with that being said, then you get on protection mode when it comes to your kids. It's like my kids have gotten in trouble for other things, but trust me, the sexual abuse thing, that was not going to happen. It's like, no, you say no, and even with my son's father, I was like, you are not to take my son to this address. I left the island with my daughter for a reason, but my son is down there with you. You better not don't ever let me hear that my son is over here with these people. And then of course, as he got older, he had to go find out who they were, because at the end of the day, he ended up almost dating one of his cousins. And we found out when he called her a name that you guys are cousins. Wait a minute, you need to know who your family is for real. But back then, when you didn't have a say, or you couldn't because if you tell, this is gonna happen to you. I was like, nah,
Yeah.
the buck stops here. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna stop with my kids. And I told my brothers, because it's 3 boys, 1 girl. And I told them like it is. Look, you guys don't even let me think that something is happening in that department, or we got all kinds of problems. So yeah. I am the whistleblower of the family. I
Hey,
don't
somebody
play
has
when it
to.
comes to that. Yes.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Somebody has to be brave enough to be the whistleblower and speak up at some point, because, like you say, if no one ever speaks up, it's going to just continue this evil cycle within the family. You know what I mean? So someone has to stand up and take charge, be brave, be bold, even, you know what I'm saying, pull a strap sometime, be like, listen, this ain't happening no more. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's beyond just, turning the person in. Sometimes as a family, you got to take things into your own hands to protect the family, for the next generation. And I don't promote violence, by the way. Just
I'm sorry, I do.
that's why
I'm sorry.
you know,
When it comes to that nonsense, definitely. And Blue Angel says exactly, make them feel comfortable. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but
And
unfortunately, when you have a situation where a child has been molested for that long, they're never going to really heal from that situation. No matter how much counseling you put that person through, it's always going to be something that they feel like is their fault, because they're young, they don't know any better. And you can fill their head and manipulate them to believe anything. So that's when you have, unfortunately, a lot of women that go through that, and then they turn to the streets, and then they, trying to find whatever they were lacking in those streets, and then they get I want to say a cold heart, don't really show emotion, and it's all about hustling and just trying to make their self happy or numb and ease that pain by doing whatever it is that they're doing.
Yes. You see, and I'm on the opposite end of that stick. I'm on the side where I do have trigger moments. When I see movies with, like, there's this one movie, this one Tyler Perry movie, and I've been in the studio forever. Every time I see, this movie, it shakes me. There's a lot of movies out here that when I see it, it's like, I just want to, why couldn't I be in there? Because I needed to bring all this energy to that film,
Right.
But it's really crazy. But yeah, we never get this. There is no getting over. There is no forgetting. There is none of that. But you just have to come to some kind of grip with yourself, especially when you come to knowing who God is. And sometimes it takes people decades to come to this point. It took me a long time to get here. So yeah, it's a heck of a journey, and it's an everyday prayer and protection. That I say the right things, or if I spot something, because with kids, we almost know, we have that instinct of, this is happening to that child, or this happened to that teenager, or let me reach out and talk to somebody, because us as adults, when we are in a realm where we know what we're talking about, and we can give advice, or we can talk to people, or we can pull these kids, then we just got to do what we got to do to help one another, and that's really what I'm about. I grab all these kids, they all become mine, and that's all I was saying, is like, they'll show up to event talking about, yeah, you've been my mama for a long time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was. Now what's going on? How can I get you away from me into some real help? Because I'm not the help,
So when it's a situation like that, coming from a woman's perspective, if you've been traumatized like that coming up as a child, and now you're an adult and you're trying to have healthy relationships with the opposite sex and being intimate with the opposite sex, how do you control those kind of traumatic events and emotion that comes with having a healthy relationship after you've been through what you've been through as a child?
That is the best question ever. I got to give it to you. That is very, very good question. So this is the thing. You cannot go into a relationship attacking the person that you're with, because they had nothing to do with that, one. Two, it is very important that in getting to know the person that you're with, you share this information with them. And this is the thing. The bad thing about this is that nowadays, no relationship is guaranteed to last. So it's like, now you're sharing your business with, like, this guy that might not even be here next year, and you feel a certain type of way. But at the end of the day, this is the thing. If I am on this platform letting the whole world know, hey, look, I've been sexually abused, and this happened to me, and this is how I handled it, then it takes nothing out of me to tell the person, hey, babe, look, I just want you to know this is where I come from. This is what happened. I have my days. I have my moments, and we ease into us, but I will never allow anybody that I'm dating or anybody that I'm interested feel guilty of something that I may have gone through, but I do share the information with them so they know, just how to handle me. It's like, you got to handle me with care, or I just prefer to be alone. That's how that works.
Okay.
Excuse me, I have to say something on that. Excuse me. So in reference to the piggyback what you both said, my dad, this is just from a man's perspective, because I've been with women who unfortunately has been abused. So this is advice to fellow men. When you are with a woman that's been abused, unfortunately, like Mimi said, be delicate. You know what I'm saying? Be more patient with her. You know what I'm saying? Just know, don't be so pushy. Don't, force her, or like, saying she has to, have sex right now if she doesn't feel comfortable. If she's digging you and she's still with you for that period of time, what I mean? She obviously trying to get, to that point to where she's still getting over something, with her abuse. And like I say, I meet so many women. This is the reason why I associate myself and I network with women, because I found out there's so many crazy ass men out there, and I never knew, because I grew up with two sisters. I don't have any brothers, no blood brothers. So I never knew that when I hear so many stories from other women, how many creeps and just evil men there are out there. And that's why I don't really associate myself in doing business with men, because I'm like, you ain't about to mess up my company and what I stand for. I honor women over here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to salute and empower more women over here on my platform. So, you know what I mean? A lot of people just can't be trusted. You don't know what some guys do behind closed doors, just like you don't know what women do behind closed door. But the gist of what I'm saying is just be more like delicate, like Mimi said, and just, patient, with women. You know what I mean? If you know that she's been abused and you know she's been through something, you don't know how much that's affected her. Even if she told you that she's over it or she's getting over it or whatever the case may be, is even deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? It's emotional, spiritual, it's everything, you know what I'm saying? So just be patient with her if you really love her like that. You know what I'm saying? Or keep it moving.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Definitely true.
Yes, and to piggyback on that, just FYI, there are a lot of women out here that have abused men too.
I was just about to say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
and little kids, and it's some sick people. It's just some sick people in the world. We just got to stay prayed up about us and ours, and that's basically it. Because it's definitely gotten out of hand. But my thing, if I can catch it, I will catch it. Know that.
I've dated some men that have been abused, and it was the same. You have to treat them the same way. You have to be very careful of, their trigger words. And I found out a lot of them very sensual or either sexual or something. You could tell like something's different about them. They took that energy and did something different with that. They're either very insecure, or very sexual or something. So it's the same thing. You have to treat men the same way and ask them what their background, what their story is, and be a safe space for them to tell them, because men are not very easily open to sharing that type of stuff, especially if it's a man that tried to do something to a boy. They really don't want to talk about that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, and it happens more and more often these days. And even the situations to where a couple may have a child and the male in the situation abuses the child or molests the child, and that's your baby. How can you do that? You know what I'm saying? And that's just sick. Yeah. But it happens on a day to day.
Absolutely. We have 2 more comments as well. And then it says from Miss Blue Angel, that's very true, emotional and mental damage. And she says also, and let me put this out there, it's not just kids or women being abused. Men are being abused as well, like Renatta and Mimie was just saying. And because men aren't allowed to hurt. And that's so true.
Yes.
And I know that Andrea's having some sound issues, but please, Andrea, you also welcome. We're not trying to, only because you having sound issues, please, maybe if you speak a little bit more slowly or something like that, it'd be less feedback. I don't know. But I know you are very opinionated.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So I 100% agree with everyone that especially like abuse is like coming from that background when it comes to relationships, as well, and it's sometimes very difficult to heal from your traumas. Something very traumatic. Therapy has helped me to become the in pain into art. That's how I got into TV and film.
Okay. And again, I'm sorry that to hear that you're a survivor as well. And thank you for sharing that. It was a little feedback, but we definitely got the gist of what you were saying. That you was helped, with your trauma, with therapy and things of that nature. So thank God for people that's out there that provide therapy and just their time and space to be able to talk to someone, because we all at some point need to talk to somebody. And just like both Miss Blue Angel said and Renatta said, like me and we in a different position to where we pretty much don't feel as comfortable, or like we're not allowed to hurt, you know what I'm saying? But me being a Leo, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, um I'm sensitive, you know what I mean, I'm a sensitive person, just by like trait, you know what I mean, and by just growing up around a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, so that sensitivity can turn into being on the defensive sometimes with if somebody coming at me too hard with like a guy, or it can just be sensitive where um just sensitive, you know what I'm saying? But we not allowed to be emotional and stuff like that. And like last year I had the pleasure of being honored on Father's Day. And the only reason I never shared this video is because I was crying on stage, and because I'm still trying to like hold my standards of, like I can't be up there crying. Like I ain't about to share this. You know what I'm saying? Like because I got emotional because I had spoke about two of my friends that had passed. And once I spoke about them, it just like that was a trigger for me and sad, and it made me very emotional in that moment. And I couldn't control it. And I started crying on stage while accepting my award. And all the women made me feel cool, good about it, and even the guys, but still, and I promise Miss Sister Africa, shout out to Sister Africa, I'm gonna share that video this Father's Day, and I'm gonna just go ahead and whatever embarrassment or whatever I have to deal with from it, I'm gonna deal with. But it just goes back to square one, like I'm talking about. Just men can't be emotional, men can't feel hurt, men can't we can't express ourselves like we really want to sometimes because our feelings get hurt just as well as women's feelings get hurt. We just have to be the tough guy role because that's the role of the man, at the end of the day.
Well, that's something that we was taught to do, way back when, and I hate to say the slavery days because everything comes from that, but you was told not to be not it was not masculine to show your emotions, to cry and do anything. We was told to just take it on the chin and roll with it. In any situations, we go through so much these days as well with women that decide they want to do whatever it is they want to do to us, or take us to court, or like you said, beat on us or whatever, and we supposed to just take it and not defend ourselves, but it does depend on who you're talking to, as far as their outlook on the situation of defending themselves if they are facing abuse, or having to go to child support court or whatever. It just is circumstantial, but it's not, I don't think it's not masculine to show your emotions, but I would say just control it to a certain extent because it could be mistaken as weakness.
Right, exactly. True story. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
well, oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No, go ahead, please.
If I may say that, to say something before we jump off the subject matter, Skrilla, I think that at the end of the day, it takes a real woman to know that it's a real man being sensitive to a real woman, versus a woman who don't even get it and like, oh, he weak because he was crying, So no, my thing is, be sensitive, because it's good for the woman to know that, okay, he's not all that hard, which is a good thing for us to know that he's not just a bunch of muscles, that he can tone down sometimes, and that will make us tone down.
Yeah, I mean, but it takes you having to be with an exceptional woman to realize that, because the the pick of the litter that's out here now, not really prime choice, so you really have to be careful about what you do around these women these days.
I find strength in a man that can actually show his emotions. I find that that's pretty strong, that you are willing to knock down walls and show your true emotion and how you truly feel. So I really respect it and enjoy the transparency, because a lot of times we're trying to figure it out, and you don't want us as women trying to guess what you're thinking and assume how you're feeling. We're like fantasy people, so we create in our head what you're feeling, and it's much better hearing it out the horse's mouth. So when a man is showing his tears and when a man is showing his feelings, it's very it's showing strength to me.
Yeah, and to agree with you on that, throughout history, let's say Roman era, that's really when men showed their emotion, is when they was with their women, when they wasn't at war, and they can be vulnerable and they can, let their true feelings out with their woman. That's when you really supposed to. But as things evolve and we go through it all, we told not to do that, as a Black community. Now, as far as other races, I don't really know what they're taught, but I know as far as we go, we're always told don't do that. It makes you weak, and they look at you a certain kind of way.
Yeah. And with that being said, you know what I mean? And there was some very clear and powerful points that you all just made. But you know, like me in particular, like I fought it like my whole life just to make sure I keep that standard of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the look on my face sometimes, whether it's less smiles, more seriousness, you know what I mean? Just to let people know I'm not a joke over here. I'm not going for no games or whatever like that. But at the same time, it's like once I lost two people that was so dear to me, you know, being two of my brothers that died on the same day, it just did something to me that I could never like I can't reverse it in reference to obviously we can't reverse death, but I can't reverse that emotion that it brings out of me. Like sometimes when I speak about their lives and who they were to me, you know, because I known them my whole life. So to lose them the way that it happened during the pandemic, you know what I mean? It just did something to me emotionally. And it just turned it's like a flip of a switch and I've just been working it out and it's a daily thing, you know, for me. You know, like I'm not distraught about it anymore. I can obviously speak about it without being emotional or tearful, but it's still it's there really close. It's something. It just did something to me. I don't know. Death just does something sometimes, you know, to you
Yeah.
when who depending on who that person is. And this ain't the first person I know that's passed. You know, unfortunately, there's plenty of people that pass all the time that I love and care about. But it was just something that about them in particular. But I don't want to get off the subject. You know, we're not talking about death. We're gonna leave that for another topic, another episode. But peace and blessings and my condolences to everyone that has lost anyone. You know, with that just being said, because you know it's not easy to deal with death. You know what I mean? And anything like that. And my prayers go out to you, and you know, for the emotional stress that it comes with for you all to deal with. You know, that you go through on a daily too.
Oh my gosh, and I'm feeling really bad over here because I want Andrea to say something so bad. Andrea, if you have
I
anything that
know.
you need to say, Mama, just type it out in the chat for us.
Yeah, and then right, and then I'll read it.
You
I we
matter,
can read it.
sweetheart.
Yeah, because Andrea is so intelligent, you know what I mean, as well, and she has so much opinions that she has on I know on these particular topics, and I know she's just hindered by sound and technology right now, and I apologize for that. You know, to everyone out there in the audience, I'm sorry to hear that. Again, thank you for everybody that's tuned in right now. Thank you for everyone that's engaging. Thank you for all the comments, and we have another comment right now actually from Miss Blue Angel. She says, you have to heal. I'm speaking from experience. She is absolutely right. I can't allow someone to have that power over my life because of what they did to me.
Yes, that's right.
Good point. Good point.
That's right. We definitely don't play that radio. I don't at all. So, ma'am, yes, definitely we will not do that. That's what we will not do is allow anyone to have that much power over us. Not now, not ever. You know, and like I said before, it takes a lot to get to that point. You know, a lot of reading, a lot of counseling, a lot of everything to get to this point. Whereas now I can talk about it freely without it affecting me in any crazy kind of way. You know, if anything, I get upset. Like, okay, who I need to go grab? Who I need to grab up? You know, whose baby is on here that I need to talk to? You know, who am I touching? Let's go. Let's talk about this. You know, Andrea said, when abuse is reported, it is often not taken seriously. With domestic violence, you have to make several reports and a lot of physical evidence. Yes, that is so true. That is so true. True, 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 and true. And even after reporting, your abuser may not be done with you. That is true. And that's the scary part. That when you tell and nothing is done about it, that has to be the worst feeling ever. Just like, you know, just like the lady said, you know, she reported it to the parent did nothing about it. Then you find out now that the grandfather or the grandparent, whoever it was that, you know, did this abuse to this child is now in court 6 years later. And it happened 9 years ago. So for 3 years, she's trying to say something and nobody's listening.
Right. So how do you handle that situation when you hear about it and nobody's been helping this child that whole time?
That child need extra counseling on top of counseling on top of counseling, because now you have created a monster. And I'm going to tell you something. I was that monster. I had to actually pack up and leave the island and create a new life for myself, knowing what I wanted for myself and for my future and for my daughter, because I thank God for her creation on her birth every day, because had it not been for her, for my son, And just having kids at a young age, only God knows where I would be today. Because you plot. When you go through stuff like that, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to turn 18. I'm going to be out of here. And you're plotting. You have this whole, and that's why, like Andrea said, us creatives, thank God that we are creative, that we could now, funnel our anger into film and go to different places with it all in our head and create something out of it that can touch somebody else. Because at the end of the day, that's what we need to do. I look at everything as a movie now. Any situation that comes to me, I'm looking at, that might be a great play. That might be a great skit. That might be a great skit. That's a great film. So that's where I'm at now, you know. So yeah.
Yeah,
Andrea
absolutely.
said, I've gone through that 3 years. Amen. God is amazing. Channel your pain into power. Be the voice for the voiceless. Yes, ma'am.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes, that we
That's
are.
absolutely true.
So let me ask this question: has anyone seen the movie First Match?
No.
Okay, First Match is a movie that's kind of based on what we're talking about. A young girl in high school, living with, I think it was her stepmother, or no, it was her mother, and she was sleeping with the stepfather. But the mother put her out, and she was bouncing around from foster home to foster home, and her attitude was just crazy because her mother didn't care about her. Her father was in jail. She ends up running into her father, didn't know he was out, and he ends up kind of putting her in the wrong direction, having her doing like MMA fights, and she was wrestling at the school. It was just like a rough situation, and neither one of her parents wanted her. So it's on Netflix, but it's a good movie to watch.
Okay, I'm going to look for it. First Match?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Skrilla, because I also have a movie that I want to share real quick, and it's called Genie, and I suggested everyone check it out. And it's also about a woman in an abusive relationship and going out her way to stay with this man because she loves him. But the street life, has also hindered and brought abuse to her. A few of my friends in LA, shout out to DJ King Assassin, the legendary DJ King Assassin, legendary DJ Green Guys on the soundtrack of this movie is called Jenny, and it's on Prime Video on Amazon. So make sure you all check this out too.
Okay,
It's
definitely.
a great film.
Check that out.
Yeah, we also have another comment that just came in. And again, thank you for everyone that's just, speaking up and just, because this isn't an easy subject to talk about, but it's definitely needed and necessary. That's why both Mimi and I are doing this show today.
Yes.
Miss Blue Angels also said, that's why we are here to uplift our men when he is not feeling uplifted.
Yes.
Along with a lot of men are the way that they are because of the women they have dealt with. True story. With the past, within the past, but there are women who will show them something different. I'm sorry, I can't read right now.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You're good. Good.
I'm usually was reading it from the screen from on my side, but it's not showing up. I can
Right.
only press the button. So I'm trying to read that little tiny screen, and I'm struggling. I'm
Right.
struggling. I wasn't blessed with 20/20 vision.
All good. And that is absolutely true. The thing about that is that, like Skrella said, a man would have to know that he is with an empress who will definitely understand that in order for him to even come out and be open enough to say, okay, babe, we need to talk about some things. That's not an easy thing, for y'all either. So yeah, I get it. I get
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
And
Andrea said,
excuse me,
I'm
oh, I'm
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead. No, I was gonna read it. Go ahead. No.
Okay. Andrea said, I think there should be more laws to protect those going through abuse because this system is flawed and too many are falling through the cracks. You're right.
Yep.
That is true. Especially the kids. And next thing you know, you hear about it on the news.
Yeah.
This parent killed this child because, and then you find out, okay, the parent was going through mental illness because they've been going through abuse themselves. Then, and there's a then and then and then and then. But if it's not taken care of and we are falling through the cracks, then that's what happens. And it's sad. It's a sad story.
It really is. It's about time, and it's just a shame on how the laws are in place, and I'm very aware of this on how, you can like being a person who's I know people who's been rape victims and things of that nature, and then this person only gets like 4 or 5, 6 years and they back on the streets, and that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But you have someone that committed a murder or something like that, or something very violent, even more violent, and wherever the case may be, like the laws is just it's just crazy. Well, a better analogy to that is you can be caught selling marijuana, what I'm saying, and you can get more time for selling marijuana than you can for those people that have took advantage of someone and abused them and violated their whole space. You know what I mean? And that's just pitiful. And we definitely need to fix those laws, like ASAP. But for that to be done, I guess we got to put out more petitions. You know, um, just more people speaking up on this matter. Whatever it takes. Andrea also says,
And I'll read it.
um,
I don't want you to read
yeah,
the whole
please,
letter. I got you. I
yeah,
recently had to
please.
report someone next door abusing his spouse. Authorities did nothing about it. Showed up after 3 hours. The call was made.
Wow,
Do
3
you know?
hours.
Do you know how important 1 minute of reporting an abuse is? Minutes
Yeah.
and
Right.
minutes and minutes. 3
Mm.
hours. Yeah.
That's a lifetime. That's a lifetime when you're in that situation as a victim.
Look at that. Andrea said they said it wasn't that important.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm truly sorry to hear that. I'm glad that you're still here to even tell that story,
Hmm.
and that you're alive. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that
No,
was her.
I know.
That was her neighbor that actually went through that. Her neighbor.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Still awful situation. I know a woman that has reported she was abused, and a guy tried to literally kill her and left her for dead. And she reported him, turned him in. He lives in the area and everything. And the police just like they just kind of like give up. Like if they can't find you initially, they just kind of let it go and wait till the next incident happens. And she's still being traumatized to this day. And I just pray for her all the time, you know what I mean? And she's being traumatized. The guy stalks her all the time through text, through email, reminds her that he's still going to kill her, and she's it's just terrible what people go through. You never know. So we always have to just thank God for how fortunate we are to not be a person that goes through this. If you are a person like that, like myself, I'm grateful that I haven't experienced some of these things. And it's just terrible what a lot of women and men go through. You just never know unless somebody tell their story. And I'm glad that we have this platform here today to help just continue to get the message out to perhaps help someone that's listening to this or may hear this, as it goes to my YouTube and eventually on XOD to 2 billion people. We know we're gonna help. This message is gonna help somebody. And you right, Enough, the movie Enough. I love that movie, but I love it because of that she survived at the end, Jennifer Lopez, and that she
Yes.
protected herself and she found power in her situation and was able to. But that was a sad movie though. But it was a great example of what women go through for real. That was a great movie. Enough.
Yes.
That's what Andrea Ward just shared.
Oh yeah, that movie was amazing. All right.
She says she cries every time she watches it.
Yes.
Yeah, despite I know the outcome, I'll be feeling like, damn, come on, he right there, come on, you got to turn around, girl. You know what I'm saying? Look out the window, call the police. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. But I already know how it's going to end. I know that she makes it, but not every woman makes it. Not every man makes it.
That's right. That's right.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, Skrilla. Who was that football player that got that quarterback for the Titans back in the day? I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about? He got killed by his girlfriend while he was asleep, and she shot him in the head.
Yeah, I don't remember his name though. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. But yeah, that happens too. Like women because they can't have you all to themselves, just like from a
You read
woman's
my mind.
perspective.
You was definitely
Yeah.
reading my mind. 'Cause I was gonna mention that, you have those crazy women that want their boss or want somebody that they're interested in. Don't care if they got a woman or not. Now they trying to kill everybody.
Yeah.
People and they mental state. You never know. and you never know what you even did to trigger it.
Are we talking about Steve McNair?
Steve McNair. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
Sad.
you. Thank you, Mimi.
I think the number of people that get abused, molested, or have any kind of domestic violence is actually higher than reported, because a lot of people don't even understand the definition of what it is. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think that, it's something that just happened, or they overlook the certain situation that actually happened to themselves, and they don't call it molestation, or they don't call it abuse.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Great point. That's the truth for real. You know, and with that being said, I just want to remind, um, man, women out there, men out there, it's not love if they have to put their hands on you, if they have to hit you, if they have to abuse you. That's not real love. That's not what love looks like. You know what I mean? And stop allowing that person. Now I know it's hard to walk away because you love them, but they don't love you the same. It's not really mutual. They just saying it out their mouth, but they don't really saying it in action. And sometimes whether it's fear that's keeping you there, but at some point you have to find a way to either talk to somebody to gain the strength up, to protect yourself, go and learn some self-defense tactics, whatever, but get out of that situation, because not only does that affect also people that's trying to protect you, eventually it's like someone called crying wolf. Eventually they're going to stop standing up for you because they see you keep going back to the same situation, to the same circumstance, to the same relationship, when they're trying to tell you like, man, this person doesn't love you. They're abusing you. This not what it looks like, but you keep going back to the same abuser, and then eventually it continues to escalate and escalate and escalate. So, yeah, please.
Oh yeah, well, for some people, they go through it for so long that they look at it as being normal, and for
Right.
others, they've been in a situation to where they don't know how to leave because they're afraid if they do leave, they won't have any control over anything else that they do, or they looking over their shoulder for the rest of their life. So
Right.
you get a lot of those instances with women that's scared to leave those situations because they really do think if I leave, he gonna find me, he gonna kill me. So
Right.
it's a real thin line when it comes to that, because you never know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah, and I don't mean to be insensitive when I say that, because I definitely understand. Again, I have two sisters. I have plenty of women that I communicate with on a daily, all the time, that tells me these evil and just terrible stories. And it's just sad, what people go through. But at some point, again, you got to find a way to stop the cycle and reverse the cycle. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And like Mimi was saying, self defense, learn how to fight, help to protect yourself. So next time he comes in that room to do something to him, it'd be a surprise for him. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
He's going to be face to face with my little friend.
Right.
Clink, clink.
So yeah.
I'm just saying, quote unquote. No. Hey.
But definitely, I definitely sympathize for any man, any woman that goes through that, because it's just terrible. I have a story to tell in reference to an old friend. He's passed now, but he walked into a situation where his niece was being beat up by her boyfriend. Now he just came to get the baby. That's what he was there for, and they're fighting like cats and dogs in there. And he was trying to ignore the situation because he understands that no matter how many times he defends his niece, they still continue to end up back together. So, but it came to a point to where he was really hitting her, like really beating her up, and he wasn't gonna just take that. So he jumped in. They started wrestling. A gun was pulled out. He ended up shooting the guy and killing him. And then end up having to be on the run. But he did eventually beat that case because of self defense. But it's just like that's how things can continue to escalate. And it when people just trying to stand up for you as well. So that's why sometimes we have to find a way, no matter what it takes, to stand up for ourselves, because it's already a life and death situation. So, what I mean? You just got to stand up. And that's just in life in general, too. Like if you have a bully in your life and there's somebody bullying you and trying to, take advantage of you as a man on man, whatever. Like at some point you got to stand up, or the abuse going to continue. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know. It's a delicate situation, like Skrilla just said. I know.
You get, some look, I'm gonna speak from experience because I was young at the time, but you get scared. Skrilla said it right, because you're thinking, gee, I'm gonna leave. Like when I left the entire state. That's how that was. You're not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna leave and go 3 blocks away. No,
Right.
I left the entire state. That's how I did it, and it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And of course, the more that side of the family saw it, because my family didn't know what was happening to me, because that would have been a different type of story ending. So I was, you scared to tell your family because you don't want your family thinking of you as, oh, it's a failed relationship. Now she's got this baby, and what's she gonna do, and all this stuff that you got to listen to. And coming from like the small islands, you know, everything we do is big. It's big when it comes to family. So it's all about how the family sees you too. But I was in that place, so I was like, look, it's either gonna be me or you. But I got this baby, and we gonna make it out of this. And I had to make one of those, tough calls, and just, did it for my baby. And more of us women need to do that. We need to think about the little ones that it's going to affect. Because yeah, she was 2 months old. She don't know what happened. She didn't know what happened until she was 18 plus.
Right.
That's when she really found out, because I was like, I'm not going to taint him, because he's going to taint himself, which he did. But at the end of the day, it's like, look, you just got to know that, that situation can turn really, really bad, because what's happening now is that you leave this child with the man, and he's trying to get you now. So now he's going to start doing stuff to the child
Exactly.
to get to you. So there's no winning. There's no winning in that. The winning is walking away.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Well said. I know this is a topic that we can continue on all night long, and I know we all have our priorities and other engagements that we have to do. You know what I mean? But just in closing, I just want to continue to just make sure that if there's anything else anybody like to share, starting with Renata.
I am thankful that you invited me on this show today. I enjoyed everybody, and much success to all the guests and the host, and I'm just grateful.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm so grateful to have you. You know what I mean, and for you to be able to share your opinion, your intelligent perspective, and everything like that. You know what I mean, and you being a friend of mine for a long time. Me and Renata go back to elementary school, to be exact, 5th grade. So you know what I mean, to know this young lady, yeah, to just see her grow into the woman that she's become, the strong woman, that just the boss that she is. And I'm just really proud of you, and salute to you, Queen. You know what I mean? And thank you so much for being a part of this platform today. It was really
Thank you.
an honor to have you here. And I'll make sure you all support No Dot Competitors. You know what I'm talking about? For real. You know what I'm saying? She got that fly clothing line over there. I like to just move on to Andrea. If you anything in closing that you would like to say.
Go ahead and type it in, girl. Type it in, girl. I got you. I got you.
Okay. Thank you for bringing me on to a group of people, creatives, and individuals. You are absolutely amazing. I think the night we often hear about conversations, or have a safe space to be able to express ourselves and concern or anything related to of that subject. So you are awesome.
No, thank you, and I think most highly, very highly of you as well. You know what I mean? Thank you for being a part of this show today. I'm so grateful to have you. You know what I mean? We have great conversations. You know what I mean? I know we both been busy lately, but you know what I mean? It's just grateful to be able to have someone like in my life, for you to, to have you in my life, for someone that I can talk to and reach out to. Along with everybody on this platform. That's why you're here, and I'm just grateful to have you. And much success to you. Continue with your movie as it continues to do numbers and accept big awards, and I still can't believe that you said you only spent $100. I'm still not believing that because it came out great. It really came out great, and I'm really proud of you, Andrea. And just keep going. And I'm proud of you for being a survivor as well of abuse. So you know what I mean. Salute to you and everything that you're doing. Peace, Queen. And then next, I like to leave it and pass the mic to Skrilla International.
All right. Thank you for having me on. I definitely appreciate the conversation and being on with everybody. And I do encourage anybody that's having any issues with stalkers, domestic violence, whatever the situation may be, you have to, even though it might be scary, go and make your police report because your safety is everything. Within the limitations of that police report, you have a lot of power that you gain back from whoever is after you or whoever is harassing you. So, but I do appreciate you having me on tonight, and it's been a pleasure talking to you and the ladies. I definitely appreciate it.
Man, much love to you, big bro. You don't already know, you know what I'm saying? You are inspiration of what you're doing, you know what I mean, from the time that I had the chance to interview you, you know what I mean? I take every experience that I have and I try to help that to make me more ambitious. And you a brother that, you know what I mean, I admire what you're doing. I like how you move, you know what I'm saying? And man, you know, I'm just grateful to have you on the show and thank you for being you know, bringing your opinion to the platform today because you know what I'm saying, you know, I had to have another man on here to have my back.
Yeah,
You
I
know what
can
I'm
tell
saying?
you.
It just, you know, it's always good to have another man's perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because we all live different type of lifestyles. But you know what I'm saying? You know, you had some great opinions, and thank you for your advice, brother. Blessings to you.
thank
And
you.
salute
No
everything
problem.
you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Much love. Then, last but not least, my beautiful co-host, the legendary Mimie Acosta, CEO of M.I.A. Entertainment Group. How would you just like to say in closing, man?
Well, first, I would definitely like to thank the guests, of course. Skrilla, you, my brother over there in Santo Domingo, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Be safe out there. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And if you do, cover your shit. And Renatta, it's been really, really nice meeting you, sweetheart. I hope that we can interact some more, as well as Andrea Ward. I know she's not here right now, but she is on stream. I think she can hear us. So, FYI, Mamacita, it would be really nice to connect with you. And of course, I said it, management. Thank you so much for having me. It is always such a pleasure hosting with you. So thank you guys very much. And FYI, I did not get to say this in the beginning, but you guys can find me at MIA Entertainment Group on IG. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys very much. Okay, one love, God bless. And look, domestic violence hotline, 1-800-799-7233. Again, that number is 1-800-799-7233 for domestic violence. And as far as child abuse, you got 855-422-4453. Do not hesitate to call any of those numbers if you know something happening and you just want to share the information or be that whistleblower, blow the whistle. Okay? One love, God bless, and until we see each other again at the square table.
Hold on. Thank you again so much, Mimi. Don't be trying to escape before I give you a flower. Stop playing. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you so much, Mimi. I love you. You already know that. You know how I feel about you. You know what I mean? I'm so glad that you took up the offer to be even take your time and make time to be here today to be part of the square table. I'm so grateful for the messages that we're going to be able to continue to spread, and it's nothing but a pleasure to be able to share this opportunity with you as we talk about these great topics. You are dynamic. You're a beautiful lady. You know, you have given so many other people opportunities, open doors for so many people in this industry. The list is, you know, extreme. And I'm just grateful to be the pleasure to be able to network with someone like you. You just a warm hearted soul. And I just love you much. I love you much. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for everything that you do. And thank you for all your support. Much love and
Thank you.
salute to you, Queen. Straight like that. I said
I
it.
said it. One love.
One love. Again, thank you for everybody that was able to tune in. Thank you for everyone that shared comments. I'm sorry I wasn't able to share all the comments today, but it will stay on the chat of my YouTube. So that's something that, you know, will continue to be a helping hand to someone else, you know, the opinion that you shared today. Again, thank you once more to International Skrilla. Thank you to Renatta Nikole, and thank you to Andrea Ward, and to my beautiful co-host, the legendary Mimie Acosta. And everyone that's out there, thank you. And make sure you all catch our next episode. Remember, it's going to be the last Thursday of every month. You're going to catch us here at the Square Table. So come get back on your square at the Square Table. You already know why, because I said it. And with that being said, you know what I mean? We're going to go and close it and have a closing video. I'm going to share my sponsors one more time because, you know, without them, you know what I mean? Hey, I wouldn't go as far as I would. So, topic was child abuse and stalkers. You know, I feel like we had a great conversation here today. This was another great episode, very successful. And just thank you all for all of your input. I'm very grateful for you. And God bless you all and enjoy the rest of your day and be safe. Peace to you. Keep in touch, everyone. Make sure you all share this video to all the audience out there.
Yes.
All right. Catch you all next time. But you already know I'll be having another celebrity interview coming up soon. And I can't wait to tell you all who it is. So just make sure you all check out my page on I Said It Callahan II on Facebook. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram, celebrity_interviewer_ I Said It. On my IG, I Said It the Poet on Twitter. And remember, you see it, ISaidItTV.com is my website. And first, and let me also shout out to two beautiful women that was on the first two issues of my magazine, which is called I Said It Management Global Networking Magazine. The first feature was actually, she's my brand ambassador of I Said It Management, and she's legendary hip hop pioneer. She's been rapping since 1982. The legendary LJ Wicks, and she resides over there in Amsterdam. So you know what I mean. Shout out to LJ Wicks. And then also the second cover featured my friend Gina Hills, who's the CEO of Life and Entertainment, and that's where you can find me on the XOD. That's the channel you can find me on, Life and Entertainment on the XOD network. So make sure you all download XOD, and that's where you're going to be able to find this interview going forward in the next few days. So just stay tuned, and man, much love, and just, you know what I mean, to everyone that's on here. Thank you so much. Blessings to you all. All right, and we're going to close it out just like this. All right, peace. Okay, I'll catch you on next time. Thank you again, International Skrilla, brother. Thank you for your time, man. You know what I mean? And my prayers is with you and your family all the time.
Thank you. I
Salute.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Straight up. I see you. And Mimie, peace, queen. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. And I cannot wait to our next episode of the Square Table. That's going to be really fun, right?
Yes. Skrilla, one love, sweetheart.
Thank you. Same to you. Stay safe out there.
All right, I sure will.
All right.
Peace and blessings. I said it.
You did.